Thanks for staying with us. The Rockford Area Habitat for Humanity inches closer to finishing homes the nonprofit is building this year as part of its 23 in 23 campaign. 23 News reporter Jim Haggerty spent some time at a couple Habitat job sites to talk about the initiative and get an update on the progress.
Habitat for Humanity and 23 area businesses will build single-family homes in 2 Rockford subdivisions in 2023.
We currently have 6 under construction here, with more coming in the other subdivision that we're in as well. So we'll have a total of 9 this year.
Families selected to live in these new homes must undergo a thorough application process.
They were bought by the homeowners with a 0% interest mortgage for 30 years.
Each one of these Habitat homes is built with nothing but quality materials, and the construction is overseen by licensed, very skilled contractors.
You know, we set the trusses and sheathed the roofs for them this year, and then the MEP trades are all licensed contractors, union contractors who come out and help as well.
Officials say homes that are included in the 23 in 23 campaign will be completed this fall.
We truly could not do this without the financial support and the man hours, the volunteer man hours that go into these homes.
Hard Rock Casino is one of this year's partners. President Gino Iafredi says it's part of the gaming giant's efforts to help the community.
I mean, it's life-changing. So you can really participate in a small way in such a big thing, which is helping change somebody's life and doing something so special and meaningful.
Working for you in Rockford, Jim Haggerty, 23 News.
This year's Habitat homes are in Emerson Estates off of Springfield Avenue and the Brandon subdivision near Sandy Hollow Golf Course. We here at 23 WIFR are so proud to be part of the 23 in 23 campaign.